Welcome to season one, episode one of Boy Talk. Okay. Um, I know it's been a few months since y'all seen me. I know, I understand. Don't blow my head off because of it. It won't happen again. Okay. We on a new mission. We doing new things. I'm trying to tap, back into this creativity thing. I'm gonna get back into it slowly but surely. Just work with me now. Work with me now. I have to take a few moments and a few weeks for myself. Make sure my mental health is okay, and focus on my family, and do all of those things. And now I'm back. I do have this show and another new show that is coming. So, without further ado, I'm your host, Armani Velour. If you're new here, welcome. And everybody else that has already subscribed to my channel, thank y'all for waiting and riding with me. And, everybody that's here from Instagram, make sure y'all subscribe too, because I got a lot of people that come in from Instagram that be looking for me. And they can never seem to find me. But anyways, without further ado, this is Boy Talk. Okay, as I said in the beginning, welcome to the first episode of Boy Talk. Like girl talk, but from a boy. Um, I have a few things that I want to discuss. It's been a while, and it's kind of been a lot going on in the news. So for the first few episodes of this, I'm going to really just be catching up on things that has happened while I've been away, and then I'm going to tap in to what is happening currently. And I'm gonna throw a few current things in. You'll see. But I have my papers here. I'm going to be taking notes, as you'll see in these episodes, because it's a lot to talk about, and I'm definitely going to want to keep up with the things that I'm talking about. So first on my list, I have Meg. Meg graduated from TSU. Shout out to Meg. She's graduating with her undergrads in health administration. Shout out to Meg. See, this is big for female rap, because you don't come across many female rappers that publicly go to school and get their degrees, and their fans go along that process with them. So this is really, really big for Meg. And yeah, I just wanted to give a quick congrats to Meg on that. Moving right along on the list. My first honorable mention. Speaking of honorable mentions, let me tell you what they are. My honorable mentions are not necessarily hot topics, but things that I want to speak on. So my first honorable mention for this week is Gabby Petito and the Brian Laundrie case. Okay, it's a lot that I have written down for this, so keep up, right? So it was determined that this whole thing was a murder suicide, which I kind of felt like this was the case from the beginning. And when I posted this on Twitter, a lot of people felt the same way that I did, that this was like a murder suicide, and they were kind of confused as to why it took them so long to figure this out. And I was one of those people that were confused. What took them so long to figure this out, right? So there was a roadside incident. I'm going to go ahead and get straight to the meat of the situation. There was a roadside incident where Gabby alleged that Brian was beating on her and doing all type of stuff that he wasn't supposed to be doing. It was actually a scuffle between them both. But what I truly believe is that he hit her and she defended herself, of course. Now Gabby is not really a fighter. She wasn't really raised in aggression. She's never been the girl to go to school and get picked on. She's never really been that girl. So she's never really faced aggression when it came to a person being abusive with her, or having to fight or anything like that. So in this case, she knew to defend herself from him. The roadside incident took place August 12th, right? August 12th. And this particular date is when I feel like police failed her. Because they should have knew then that something wasn't right about all of this that was happening. And they paid no mind to none of this. Right? Gabby was found on September 19th. Right? Now, they determined that she had died 3 to 4 weeks before she was found on September 19th. That will put her at roughly about the week of August 22nd to August 28th. The roadside incident was August 11th. That means if this happened, Gabby would have been murdered 11 days after the roadside incident. Now, moving on over to the Brian Laundrie side of this, I truly believe that Brian is the person that killed Gabby. But also, if anybody's to blame, because he can't be blamed because he committed suicide, but he can still be blamed. But if anybody should be charged, it should be his parents. Because they have a weird role in this whole situation. Like, the whole idea of the fact that they didn't even help Gabby's parents look for her. They told her parents that we're going to get a lawyer from, like, the jump. When Gabby's parents was really trying to figure out, okay, well, where is your son with our daughter? And they were really not receptive to the whole situation. And his parents should have been a little bit skeptical of the situation when he came back from where Gabby was found. He took a plane from that place to back home, took a vacation with his family for a week. They should have been skeptical then when they saw that he wasn't with Gabby then. So, like, it kind of gave me weird vibes at that point. He went from that place with his family back to the place where he was later found, which was the Canton Reserve, where he had killed himself. But many people had questions on Twitter, again, where is the gun? And what I say is, it's the parents' gun. You ain't gonna find it because it belongs to the parents. They play some type of odd role in this. I haven't put my finger on it yet. The law hasn't put their finger on it yet. But I can tell you, they have a weird ass role in this. And when it comes out, you're gonna come back to this and say, "Oh, he said that shit." Like, they play a weird role in this shit. And I don't know if you follow the case, but if you don't, you should really go do some research and go peep some shit out, because it's some weird shit. And they have documentaries out about it and all type of shit now. So go on YouTube after you watch this video and go see some of what I'm talking about, what I'm referring to. And you tell me how you feel about it. You come back here and comment and tell me how you feel about it, okay? Okay. Moving right along to Mac Miller's drug dealers. Okay. So Mac Miller's drug dealers, as everybody knows, Mac Miller passed away of a fentanyl overdose. And even though he had other things in his system, it was ruled as a fentanyl overdose. And his drug dealer pled guilty. Not necessarily the drug dealer, but the plug of the drug dealer. And he faces 20 plus years in prison, plus $1 million fine, which I don't think is enough for basically giving somebody counterfeit drugs. But hey, it doesn't make neither party right. You know, Mac shouldn't have bought it and he shouldn't have sold it. So, you know, I could see where they would want to give a tinge bit of leniency, but there shouldn't be any leniency for taking a person's life, and I don't care if it was willingly or unwillingly. But the dealer who actually sold the drugs to Mac, his name is Cameron Pettit. His case is still pending, and I don't know how when he sold the drugs. But the plug of the dealer is the one who is facing 20 plus years with $1 million fine. His name is Ryan Reyes, however he pronounces it. I'm kind of confused on what they have going on with this whole case too, but I'm going to do a follow-up of this in episode 2, and I'm going to see how this turns out, because if they're giving him 20 plus years with $1 million fine, I wonder what they're going to give the dealer. I'm confused. But moving right along, Adele is back. Shout out to Adele, looking absolutely motherfucking beautiful as she should. Um, that album, that album, that album, it is something that means a lot to me. It is an album that is not skippable, which is a reach for a lot of artists. And let me tell you my top five songs. My top five are My Little Love, I Drink Wine, Hold On, Women Like Me, and Cry Your Heart Out. And then my sister lost 100 pounds. She didn't have a baby. Even though she went through divorce, she didn't come back with all of this sad music. And then she popped out with a black man to Rich Paul, the sports agent. Yeah, they look lovely together, and they always out. She always popping out with her man, which is what I love about it. Okay, so shout out to Adele for doing absolutely good, and a lot of people are giving her shade because her album then it wasn't one number one and all of this shit. But none of that matters because she's about to drop her visuals for all of that shit. So her shit is gonna chart when she drops those visuals. So we're gonna have this conversation then, and we're gonna see what the conversation is. Okay, okay. Moving right on to Wendy Williams. Now, let's talk about Wendy. Okay. Wendy. I don't know if Wendy is in a right state of mind to return back to TV for another season. Now, what I do think she's gonna do is return back this season. I do think the whole wheelchair shit and her having dementia and all of that shit, all of that is bullshit. They're using that, in my opinion, as a gimmick because they know that her fans and her viewers are we're a little bit lenient on the fact that she has health issues, so they use that in her advantage. But what I do believe was true was the COVID diagnosis and her Graves' disease, like whatever she dealt with in the beginning with that. But the rest of that shit is bullshit. Okay, Wendy has had a public year. Let's pay attention. Wendy has had a public ass year. She's dropped the documentary. She's dropped a lot of tea. Shit has been revealed. Wendy has had a public year. So what I kind of feel like is her timing is off. Her mother passed away. All of that. Her timing is a little bit off, but she kind of deserves a moment to like relax and think about if going into another season of the show is something that she still wants to do. Wendy is a middle-aged woman, and like she has health issues. You know what I'm saying? She's went under a lot of scrutiny, but also Wendy is a pop culture icon. Need we not forget that Wendy is inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. Miss Mamas has a notable career. Even though she talks people business and she does all of that, she is the mother of daytime hot topics. She keeps all of the tea, and it has been for years. So like people can scrutinize her and say what they want, but this is the time in her life where after she's had a notable career where she at least deserves a moment. She's been public with everything else. Why does she have to be so public with the fact that she just needs a moment? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that wouldn't be something that her fans nor the TV people would understand, her needing a moment. You know? But sending well wishes and love to Wendy. I hope she returns as soon as possible because I need her. I need you, girl, back on TV as soon as possible. But shout out to Sherry Shepherd that's holding it down. And if Wendy decides to let go of the show, she should definitely give it to Sherry Shepherd. I think Sherry Shepherd would be so good with her own show. So shout out to Sherry Shepherd too. Moving right along to Nikki and Kenneth Petty. Okay? Nikki and Kenneth just got hit with a $20, I mean not a $20, not calling the people cheap, a $20 million default judgment. Now, Nikki claims that she thought she hired a lawyer to represent her and Kenneth, but I don't see how she thought she hired a lawyer to represent her and her husband. She claims she thought she you for holding for my brief commercial break. My message at the end of that graphic was a little fast, but what I wanted to say was shout out to every other black actress, actor, influencer, everybody that we might have lost this year. Think about somebody this holiday season because somebody's thinking about you. But moving right along to what I was saying, I don't know how Nikki thought that she hired a lawyer for her husband, but what happened was they call themselves harassing the lady that's bringing charges against Kenneth for the rape allegations, and she went to court and got just seeking money now. So of course he had to be served the documents to appear in court, and he wasn't too happy about that. Okay, according to what's been said in the court documents, is that he actually told the security outside to not let nobody in, and the security at the outside gate let somebody in, which was the person to serve him. And the person actually went to the door and saw him through the windows, watching them through the door. Watching them through the window. And he didn't come outside and accept the papers. So the person left the papers on the front doormat. So I guess you call that being served. But when it was brought up in court, they called it Nikki, per se, tried to say she thought she hired a lawyer to represent them too. So that's why there was a delay in them getting the notice to appear in court. But that wasn't the case. Like, it's just so much bullshit with this couple. And I love Nikki down, but it's bullshit. And I'm not buying the bullshit. He was declared a sex offender in 1997. The incident happened in 1994. He was arrested in 1995. So I believe Kenneth is in his 40s now. If not 43, I believe. So this case has been lingering for some time. And he's doing court in January of 2022. He's facing, I believe, 20 years himself. Moving right along though. So honorable mention number 2. Baby, there have been some baby fever out here. People have been having babies and all type of stuff. Shout out to Cardi B, who had a baby boy, her first son. I thought that was so beautiful, and y'all know I love Cardi B down. Cash Doll is expecting a baby boy too. Shout out to her. Amara La Negra from Love and Hip Hop. Y'all remember her with the afro? Yeah. She's pregnant, expecting twin girls. Shout out to her. Jeannie Mai. Shout out to my girl Jeannie Mai. Expecting her and Jeezy. Shout out to them. Yeah, it's been some baby fever out here, and people are having babies, and I find it to be so beautiful. So shout out to all of y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy every step of the way. Now, moving right along to this love, not even love, I'm about to say love and hip hop. This Andy Cohen drama, right? It's been some drama over there at the Bravo Network, and I'm going to really get into it over the next few episodes, but I'm going to give you the basis of what's going on right now, okay? He is being apparently open about a few things that has happened behind the scenes with the housewives and their husbands. And one of his main allegations that he's been talking about is that Croy, Kim Zolciak's husband, allegedly was going to punch him in the face backstage behind one of the reunions. I don't know how true that is, but we all know how aggressive Croy can get behind Kim. But needless to say, Andy is a little bit of a provoker, so you gotta watch him too. Moving right along to the Real Housewives of Dubai. I don't know Andy Cohen is really running out of ideas over there. What is happening? Maybe he needs to give me a slot on the TV over there. Maybe he can produce me, and I can make it on up, for daytime talk over there or something. Cause I don't know what's happening over there. He's running out of ideas. So now we going across seas with the Housewives now for Real Housewives of Dubai, and I'll let y'all see those girls that's on that lineup and that cast. But I don't really see where I'm gonna be interested in all of that. But okay, let's go for it, Andy. Let's see what happens in Dubai. Do I think it's gonna do as good as the ones over here in the United States? No. But am I gonna give it a little bit of a chance? Just a little bit of a chance and see what happens. The Ultimate Girls Trip. Another one of Andy Cohen's schemes that he's came up with. Do I think this is going to be something that's going to last forever? No. But do I think the first season is interesting? Very interesting. This cast right here in this first group is really cute.